Hi, this is Andy Hoffman of CryptoGoldCentral.com. Check out a free 7-day trial subscription or contact me about cryptocurrency or precious metal consultations or safe Bitcoin coin splitting at ahoffman@cryptogoldcentral.com. For those who don't know my background, after spending 16 years on Wall Street, I devoted, starting in 2002, the entirety of my portfolio and professional endeavors to precious metals. The reason being that in a financial world gone bad, the only assets I trusted to preserve value and potentially weather a much worse crisis than the dot-com bubble were gold and silver. When the 2008 crisis hit, I was initially vindicated. However, it was at that point in time that central banks decided to go all in on protecting their fiefdom by essentially deciding to print as much money as possible to buy as many stocks and bonds as it would take to prevent reality from setting in. 10 years later, central banks owns tens of trillions of financial assets, but debt is still parabolically rising, as is the cost of living and global wealth inequality. Thus, it's no coincidence that not only has Bitcoin risen to prominence, but that its white paper was published in October 2008, amidst this historic financial crisis. As a sound money advocate, I watched it with curiosity since 2013, going so far as to buy one Bitcoin at the peak at, of all places, Mt. Gox. And afterwards, the brutal 2-year bear market, when no one paid much attention, whilst the Bitcoin network effect quietly rebuilt itself. In January 2016, I started aggressively investing, going all in August 2017, when not only was SegWit activated, but the Bcash hard fork proved unable to split the network. Not only that, I left the precious metal industry, where I had been a leading commentator for 15 years, to start CryptoGoldCentral.com, given my newfound belief that a SegWit-enabled, hard fork hardened Bitcoin had usurped gold's 5,000-year grip on storage of value leadership. Since early 2016, when Bitcoin emerged from obscurity to rise from $400 to $20,000, holding it has been psychologically as difficult as anything I've done. As until SegWit was enabled, the level of FUD was relentless, some of it unwarranted and some of it of clear and present dangers. After all, not only is Bitcoin a brand new technology, but the political, social, and monetary revolution it represents directly conflicts with the 1% running our governments, central banks, and financial markets, who quite obviously are just as incented to attack Bitcoin as they have been to attack precious metals viciously and brutally over the past 4 decades. Moreover, the dangers from within were equally powerful, from wealthy Jesus-turned-Judas investors like Roger Ver, to ruthless, self-centered mining oligarchs like Jian Wu, to the countless thousands incented for various reasons to take Bitcoin down. Fortunately, the Bitcoin community has grown too, in size, passion, and cohesion, for the most part centered around a handful of social networking platforms, like in the Western world, Twitter and Steemit. Personalities have developed leadership roles with specific areas of expertise, and generally speaking, the community has strengthened with Bitcoin's price, adoption, and political victories, with no better showing of this silent majority than the user-activated soft fork movement, which, combined with the impetus of Charlie Lee forcing SegWit onto Litecoin, defeated the big bloc forces with a showing of peaceful revolution Mahatma Gandhi would be proud of. And frankly, the aftermath of SegWit adoption, from the price surge to the equally explosive advancement of second-layer scaling technologies like Lightning Network, has been awe-inspiring. However, Bitcoin still has a long way to go before becoming ubiquitous and universally accepted as digital gold and/or a major transactional currency. And along the way, it will continue to face new challenges, like the bear market we are enduring, the first in more than 2 years, and some old ones, like Bcash, which continues to spread its anti-Bitcoin propaganda campaign as loudly and viciously as possible. Consequently, I've become significantly more vocal in recent weeks in my effort to spread truth to a community desperately seeking it. This was exactly how I reacted to adversity in the precious metal markets, and exactly what you will see here until confidence in Bitcoin, the most innovative and liberating technology of our lifetimes, is restored. The principal reason for today's crypto audio blog is the urgency to divert attention from FUD, both within and without the Bitcoin community, and maintain a well-founded optimism given all the amazing things occurring in an environment where, for the first time in my 2 years in Bitcoin, no materially negative issues are on the horizon. True, prices surged parabolically, prompting fearmongers, Bitcoin haters, and weak hands to cry crash. However, in trading back to levels first breached to the upside less than 2 months ago, more than 10 times what they were a year ago, I'd be hard-pressed to call this a crash, particularly given how much Bitcoin has advanced technologically. As a year ago, the scaling debate made it uncertain we'd be able to hold the network together, compared to today when we know its most important feature, immutability, is irreversible. To that end, we also know governments are powerless to stop Bitcoin after having seen the Chinese ban fall on its face. Whilst equally powerful nations like Japan have actually embraced Bitcoin wholeheartedly. In the past 2 weeks, the initial plunge from 20,000 to 9,000 has given way to a trading range of roughly 10,000 to 12,000, leading to a period of uncertainty and lethargy I haven't seen in the Bitcoin community for some time. Thus, despite the explosive technological advancements we've seen and the fact that prices are already down nearly 50% from their highs to a piddling market cap of just 170 billion, fear is starting to set in, particularly as one of the community's highest profile members is fudding us every day of how prices must plunge to $7,500 simply because the most widely watched technical indicator in Bitcoin suggests it. Could this happen? Of course, as financial markets are highly unpredictable and at times irrational. However, given the growing amount of institutional investors seeking Bitcoin exposure, amidst a financial system showing signs of significant weakness, now that interest rates are surging and the dollar plunging, the fundamental case for a further significant Bitcoin plunge is weak at best. This is why I've stepped up my efforts to spread truth, such as Friday's Bitcoin Futures Manipulation or Not, one-on-one with Mike Krieger, Saturday's Bitcoin Community Unite Against Bcash audioblog, Sunday's Is Bitcoin a Bubble, one-on-one with David Siegel, and today's Bitcoin Optimism podcast, all of which can be found at my Steam account, Andy Hoffman, or my Twitter feed, Andy_Hoffman_CG. Yes, falling prices are stressful. Trust me, I know this as much as anyone. However, Bitcoin has never been stronger, and its community never more committed to the revolution that has not only enriched them personally, but has a chance to positively impact the world unlike anything we've ever seen. So no matter what prices do in the days ahead, please see the forest through the trees and maintain your Bitcoin optimism. Thanks, and have a great crypto day.